Riley. I'm the general manager of 1331. And on behalf of the ownership of 1331, which is Republic Properties, behalf of Bazzuto Management Company, we would like to thank you all for being here. This isn't the first time we've actually hosted this event. The first time was, feels like almost half a lifetime ago, just before the pandemic started. But we are very, very appreciative to have all of you here with us today at 1331, which just so happens to be an award-winning community because of, one of the things is because of this beautiful view that we have of the cherry blossoms off of your left shoulder. And of course, with the backdrop of the nation's capital, arguably one of the best views in the country. With that said, we are just very pleased to have you here, and I'd like to honor the president of the National Cherry Blossom Festival, Ms. Mayhew. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And oh gosh, thank you 1331 for hosting us here today. And what an exquisite view. If you have not stepped outside, you cannot leave until you do that. It is just breathtaking. Thank you, all of you, for joining us today. A special welcome to today's speakers, Mayor Muriel Bowser, Councilmember Brooke Pinto, Shanetti Hubbard, Rio Kurishi, Superintendent Jeff Reinbold, and also with us today is Deputy Mayor Falchecchio, as well as Elliot Ferguson from Destination DC. So welcome, everyone. On behalf of the entire National Cherry Blossom Festival organization, staff, board of directors, our partners and supporters, and all of the participating organizations, we are thrilled that the National Cherry Blossom Festival will be back in person this spring with festival traditions, new collaborations, and experiences, March 20th through April 17th. The National Cherry Blossom Festival, as springtime and the cherry trees themselves, symbolizes hope, renewal, and new beginnings. The trees, a gesture of goodwill from Tokyo to Washington, D.C., now more than ever, serves as a reminder to us the importance of unifying communities and sharing in the celebration of peace and international friendship. We have a lot to celebrate here. Today, you will be hearing from key stakeholders, learn about what's in store for this coming festival, as well as a much-anticipated bloom prediction. The government of the District of Columbia is a key, important partner of the National Cherry Blossom Festival, and it is with great pleasure that we welcome to you our Mayor, Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Well, good morning, everybody. I am just really delighted to be here with you this morning at the beginning of March Madness to announce all of the festivities for our the National Cherry Blossom Festival. I want to thank Diana Mayhew and her entire team. Let's give Team Cherry Blossom Festival a big round of applause. Like so many people, they have pivoted over the last 2 years unexpectedly to make sure that we can enjoy all the beauty of Washington, D.C. And as it's happened, a lot of that was virtual. And now this year, we will be in person celebrating the Cherry Blossom Festival. I, too, want to thank members of my team, the Secretary of the District of Columbia, Kimberly Bassett, who is our partner with the Cherry Blossom Festival and the Embassy of Japan. So, Kimberly, I want to thank you for making sure the district is always well represented in our international relationships. I, too, want to recognize Councilmember Pinto, who now, as the new Ward 2 council member, gets to celebrate in person the cherry blossoms. And to our friends from the Embassy of Japan, thank you for your long partnership, the gift of 3,000 trees, the symbolism of the relationship between our countries, and especially now, especially today, we celebrate friendships from peace-loving and freedom-loving people around the world. So thank you very much. I also want to thank our friends at Events DC and Destination DC, who have also had to pivot and be creative and resilient over these last 2 years. But one thing I know about our destination, Elliot, is people will be flocking back to it. So let me say, without equivocation, that DC is open. We have 2 beautiful rivers, more than 3,000 cherry trees along the banks of the Jefferson Memorial in our tidal basin, but also in Anacostia, also at the Arboretum. And festival activities will happen across the District of Columbia. Now, usually I get to make the news, but I understand that the superintendent from the National Park Service is going to tell us about an interesting date. And of course, our beautiful National Mall and our partnership with the National Park Service helps us have one of the most robust, actually, the #1 park system in the United States of America. So to everybody working hard, I'm looking forward to seeing you out there at the festival. Thank you, Diana.
Thank you, Mayor Bowser, and definitely thank you to the entire team, especially Secretary Bassett, who serves on our board of directors and helps all year round. It's not just, and by the way, every March is March Madness for us, so thank you. The National Cherry Blossom Festival also works closely with the members of the City Council and their teams to ensure that programs and events happen across all 8 wards of the city each year. Today with us, please welcome Ward 2 DC City Council member Brooke Pinto.
Thank you, Diana. Good morning. I am so excited to be here with you today to celebrate the 2022 National Cherry Blossom Festival. And for those of you who know me or may follow me on social media, you know that I love this color. Thank you so much, Mayor Bowser and Diana Mayhew, for your leadership and commitment to this really outstanding, exciting event for DC residents and tourists from across the world. My name is Brooke Pinto, and I have the honor of serving as the Ward 2 council member, and Ward 2 stretches from downtown across the National Mall, and we're thrilled to welcome so many of these events here today. I already sense such a difference driving to work today. There was traffic, and people were honking. It reminded me of 2019 days, and I was grinning at the honking and traffic. So people are back to work and ready to celebrate. I'm really thrilled specifically for the Ward 2 events that the Cherry Blossom Festival will be having, the opening ceremony at the Warner Theater, the Petals in the Park event at Franklin Park, and of course viewing the beautiful blossoms and blossoms after dark at the tidal basin. There will be events for all ages and families to enjoy, and this is a really exciting opportunity to support our downtown businesses and events. I was on a flight recently, and as we were landing into DC, the gentleman next to me said, you know, I don't spend much time in DC, but I always make sure I come every year for the cherry blossoms. And it literally sparked a conversation with about 8 or 10 people in the surrounding seats, people saying, I've always wanted to go to that. We were marking down in people's calendars the dates for cherry blossoms that they were booking with their family literally right on the flight. So there is a lot of enthusiasm, and our downtown and our city relies on this event so much every year. So thank you so much, and I'm thrilled that we have representatives from the Embassy of Japan here with us, and the symbol of international friendship continues to blossom every year. So congratulations, thanks for all the hard work, and we're so excited. Thanks so much.
Thank you, council member, and thank you for being such a goodwill ambassador for us. You can join our crew here. Each year, the festival offers new surprises, celebrity engagement, entertainment, culture, cuisine, and community experiences. We would like to take this time, just pause here for a minute, to really thank those that help make it happen. There are so many of you, from our staff to our volunteers to our partners, sponsors, supporters, and participating organizations. Thank you especially to the government of DC again. Thank you to National Park Service, Embassy of Japan. Thank you to Leadership Circle sponsors, Events DC, who of course once again will be presenting the National Cherry Blossom Festival Parade, and Amazon for connecting communities through the Petal Porch and Art Bloom programs and extending the festival into Arlington as well. Host sponsors A&A, presenting sponsor of the Tidal Basin Performance Stage. Chase, presenting sponsor of Pedalpalooza this year in Capitol Riverfront Bid. And, of course, the fireworks. Downtown Business Improvement District with Pedals in the Park. Hilton, the festival's premier hotel partner. Mars Incorporated, supporting Paws and Pedals. And I would like to add here that DC, I have to say, DC is Mars' newest Better Cities for Pet City. So thank you very much for that. Thank you also to host sponsor LaCroix as they launch the new Cherry Blossom Sparkling Water. They're doing that today with us, so thank you. And TCMA, a Drew company for the Ronald Reagan and International Trade Center, hosting the Pink Tie Dinner Party. And this year giving us the opportunity to gather for fun, food, and fashion at the conclusion of this year's festival. Here is a peek at some of the exciting pedal and pink moments that we have in store for you this year. Here we go. As you can see, this year's festival is about uniting the community as well as rediscovering well-loved traditions and exploring new ways to celebrate springtime throughout Washington, D.C. and the surrounding areas. The celebration starts at your doorstep, literally, decorating your homes with the pedal porches, extending throughout D.C. neighborhoods and surrounding areas. We invite you to explore on your own art in bloom, cherry blossom sculptures, art walk installations, or participate with your neighbors at featured parks with local kite flies, traditional signature events, as well as those events presented by festival partners such as the Japan American Society's Sakura Matsuri, Japanese Street Festival, and the Anacostia River Festival throughout these fun weeks. There's lots to see. Many of these events will also be live streamed or taped for later viewing. For a full schedule, visit the festival's website so you won't miss anything. And also you can go to the website to get the constant updates on the Balloon Watch. To tell you a little bit more about the sights and sounds returning to Constitution Avenue this year, Please welcome Shanetti Hubbard, Senior Vice President, Marketing Communications for Events DC.
Thank you, Diana. Good morning. I am so thrilled to be here on behalf of our Board of Directors and President and CEO. Good morning, Mayor Bowser, Councilmember Pinto, Park Service, and the Embassy of Japan, Diana, and guests. I would like to first by thanking Mayor Bowser for your incredible leadership over these challenging times. As the official convention and sports authority for Washington, D.C., and the presenting sponsor for the National Cherry Blossom Festival, Events DC is committed to supporting the city's convention, sports, entertainment, and cultural activities. And we are proud to support the nation's greatest springtime celebration as a natural extension of our mission to generate economic and community benefits for the residents and businesses of the District of Columbia. Events DC is excited to continue our long-standing partnership with the National Cherry Blossom Festival, and we look forward to this incredible event that draws millions of people around the country each year. And in collaboration with Destination DC, we work closely on our mission to offer premier experiences for residents and visitors to highlight this vibrant city and all that it has to offer. Now, this year, we are especially excited to have DC Go-Go Band Rare Essence perform on the Events DC float, giving a nod to DC's official music. And we are also thrilled to have our 2019 WNBA champions, Mystics players Natasha Cloud and Alicia Clark, also join us. And other exciting features of the festival include Grammy-nominating singer Freddie Jackson, Taylor Dane, Tag Team, and online viral sensation Sharp Family Singers will also be performing. We'll also hear from hometown favorites, DC's Different Drummers, and the Ballou High School Majestic Knights Marching Band. Yes, give it up for Ballou. So the parade will take place on Saturday, April 9th at 10 a.m. and will air on ABC 7, the festival's media partner, on April 17th at 1 p.m. and 8 p.m., followed by national syndication. There are also 3 National Cherry Blossom Festival sporting event collaborations taking place this year. The Washington Nationals, DC United, and the Washington Wizards will play all Blossom-themed games during the festival. Yes, the National Cherry Blossom Festival is truly the world's greatest celebration of spring and continues to offer world-class entertainment in the nation's capital, helping to create lasting memories for residents and visitors. So let's get ready to embrace spring in DC. DC is open. Yes, thank you.
Wow, thank you. I'm ready to go. Thank you, Shanetti. We're proud to continue to honor our history always of the festival and the gift of trees through our historic relationship with Japan as we weave Japanese culture throughout the festival. To tell you a little bit more about this, please welcome Ryo Koirushi, Counselor for the Public Affairs, Director of Japan Information and Cultural Center, Embassy of Japan.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It feels a little bit strange to have so many people right in front of me instead of little Zoom squares on my computer. But it's so nice, and obviously it's much better. My name is Ryo Kuroishi. I'm Embassy of Japan's acting spokesperson. And I'm here on behalf of Ambassador Tomita, who sent his regards. Ambassador Tomita is looking forward very much to participating in the NCBF opening ceremony later this month. Just like everyone else is mentioning, the embassy is so happy that this year's event will have much more in-person, this year's festival will have much more in-person events. But we are at the same time excited for different reasons. 2022 is actually 110th anniversary of the gift of cherry blossom trees from Tokyo to Washington, D.C. Thank you. I'm sure that when people gathered at Tidal Basin in 1912 to plant the first tree, they had no idea what an impact their effort would make. But looking back, we can now see that those cherry blossoms have become a lasting symbol of a special friendship that has grown between Japan and the United States. And they have also become root for this wonderful springtime celebration that brings us together today. The Embassy's Japan Information and Culture Center, or JICC, is celebrating with unique exhibit. Well, in partnership with American University, we will display a series of prints by a famous ukiyo-e artist, Hiroshige, and those prints will be paired by pictures taken by DC area photographers. It will show the influence that Hiroshige's ideas have had on art and social media images, including many of the cherry blossom pictures we can see on Instagram. So I think it is going to be very interesting. I want to thank Mayor Bowser and the City of DC, Diana Mayhew, and the entire NCBF team, Japan-America Society of Washington, D.C., and Event DC, and of course, National Park Service, which takes such good care of these historic trees. Now that my remarks are finished, so I'm so excited to learn exactly when these trees will bloom for 110th time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Counselor, and thank you for your entire team. That they also work with us year-round to put on all of our festival events, and especially the Japan Foundation helps co-sponsor the opening ceremony, so thank you for that. Before we bring up our last speaker, I always like to get my last words in because nobody pays attention after that. We want to remind you that if you want your latest information to sign up again for festival emails, you'll get the latest about the events, about the blooming dates, and anything else that's important that we need to communicate to you. We strongly recommend that you take Metro. It's the best way to get around. Metro is actually offering a commemorative 2022 festival artwork fair card. And actually, we have the artist here with us. Leah, you want to stand for a minute? Our artist for the 2022 poster. Leah Craigie Marshall, thank you for being with us. We really appreciate it. And all the work that she has done. And you'll see her with poster signings all throughout the festival. And if you have to drive, we do have a partnership with Spot Hero. Instead of driving around and wasting gas, you could just park in advance, get your spot. So just make it easy for yourselves. And there's also water taxis. There's lots of different ways to come and see the blossoms. And as we celebrate these beautiful trees, and again, looking out that window is just such a pleasure for me. We really want to thank the Park Service for, again, we've heard this all day, but it's not, can't say it enough, for caring for these trees. It's really important. The National Cherry Blossom Festival we're just proud to continue the efforts along with the Trust for the National Mall to raise funds to preserve and protect these iconic cherry trees. And that is really important because we want them to be here for generations to come. So now it is my pleasure to welcome Jeffrey Reinbold, National Park Service Superintendent, National Mall and Memorial Parks. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana, because we can never just announce the date, right? So Mayor Bowser, Councilmember Pinto, our friends at Events DC and the Embassy of Japan, it's great to be with you in person and with all of you actually in person again. It's my pleasure to be here on behalf of the National Park Service and once again be part of one of our nation's great springtime celebrations. The National Park Service is proud to be a partner with the National Cherry Blossom Festival and welcoming visitors from around the world and from here in the district to our nation's capital to witness the incredible but fleeting beauty of the cherry blossoms. So the staff at the National Mall and Memorial Parks takes great pride in the work we do to care for the stars of the festival, the 3,700 cherry trees, which are both natural and cultural treasures of our city and our nation, rooted in history and tradition. Our staff includes professional arborists whose technical prowess and dedicated professionalism are among the most important factors in the long-term survival of the flowering cherry trees, a handful of which still date back to 1912. But of course, the National Park Service can't care for for the trees on our own. Each year, approximately 90 cherry trees need to be replaced throughout the National Mall alone. We are pleased that two of our most valued partners, the National Cherry Blossom Festival and the Trust for the National Mall, have teamed up to help with this important task in creating the Cherry Tree Maintenance Fund. Donations to this endowment ensure the tree's continued maintenance and care in perpetuity. Additionally, these partners have brought back the popular Bloom Watch and Bloom Cam, again this year, providing a 24/7 live, real-time look at the tidal basin, including the panoramic view of the white blossoms of the Yoshino trees. Our heartfelt thanks to both of these organizations for their continued support of the cherry trees. As has been mentioned this morning, after 2 years of limiting programming and in-person attendance around the tidal basin as a COVID protection measure, this year the Cherry Blossom Festival is once again welcoming visitors with events and activities to enrich the experience and understanding of the cherry trees. Diana mentioned some of the activities in the district. Within the mall itself, we'll offer a range of opportunities for visitors to learn about the history of the trees while they enjoy the blossoms. Our popular Cherry Talks with a park ranger are back, and for our younger visitors, the Junior Ranger Activity Zone offers the opportunity to learn about the trees with arts and crafts, and of course, we will have the ever-popular Cherry Blossom Festival Junior Ranger Badge back. For more history of the cherry blossoms in the full National Park Service schedule, you can go to nps.gov/cherry. So, and now, the moment we've all been waiting for. In determining when peak bloom will occur, our horticulturalists are tracking the winter temperatures and forecasts for March, historical data of the peak blooms, and observations of the trees. I guess you could say we've got a lot of balls in the air, right? You knew that was coming. Right? So to help reveal the bloom dates, we've asked someone who knows a bit about keeping balls in the air to help us out. And so, with that, the projected dates for peak bloom are, don't drop it, Jeff. March 22nd to 25th. Fantastic. Spring will be here before you know it, right? And of course, the cherry trees development is, this is like the clause I have to add, is dependent on weather conditions. So the Park Service horticulturalists will be monitoring the bud development. We will be reporting the status of the blooms and making any necessary updates to peak bloom on our social media channels. So regardless of when the blooms are open, we have a full month of flowers and festivities to look forward to during the National Cherry Blossom Festival. It is now my pleasure to turn the podium back to Diana for closing remarks.
You did a great job juggling those balls. They wanted to put them on this podium, but I knew I was going to knock them over about 100 times. So thank you. Good job for that. So just in time for the Blossom Kite Festival, they're coinciding, but I always have to add my piece by saying that peak bloom means, right, 70% of the blossoms blooming at the same time. We'll have blossoms before, we'll have blossoms after, depending on the weather. So again, thank you very much, and we're very excited about this. And to echo Superintendent's message about supporting the trees, we do work with the National Trust for the Adopt a Tree program, and I just want to reiterate that the goal is to raise $1,000 for each of the 37 cherry trees, and you can be part of this legacy by participating and contributing, so thank you. So at this time, I would like to open the floor for any questions for the mayor or anyone else. I don't, does anybody have any questions? Do we have a?
Oh, sure. Hi there. Good morning. It's Justin Finch from News 4 with a question just in general about, we've heard so much today about international friendship being a big theme as we go into this Cherry Blossom Festival season. For the past 2 years, downtown D.C. has been the site for so many protests and demonstrations and tension. Can we just talk a bit about the kind of hope for spring and renewal and friendship and lighter notes that could come with this festival, in addition to an economic boom?
You want to speak? The expert here?
The hope of spring, and I love your theme, rediscovering spring. And we want DC to be the face of spring for the nation. And I think that's a wonderful way to celebrate and launch the festival this year. We're always going to be the nation's capital. We're always going to be home to various festivals, celebrations, First Amendment demonstrations, all of that, and we're going to do it all at once.
We're the happy side. We're the D.C. part of Washington. Anybody else? No? Okay. Great. Well, thank you. Again, thank you for all being with us here today. Thank you to all of our speakers. Thank you to 1331. And of course, again, please give a shout out and a big applause to the National Cherry Blossom Festival Blossom team. Thank you. Rediscover spring, rediscover Washington, D.C., and we're all being back together. Thank you.